a receptionist for quite some time. All right, so great. So cool. So no pause. I only ask you this, John, and the only reason I ask you is because I know the manager is hiring on a first come first served basis. So I said John, but so Kujerba, if you really are interested in a position, it would definitely be in your best interest to come in tonight at 6 o'clock. You know, how can you arrange your schedule so that you can make that interview time? All right. Now, again, it's not a can you arrange your schedule? It's a how can you arrange your schedule? How is really important. So it's not like a can you do it? It's how can you do it? So we always want people to figure out a way they can, not like if you can. All right. So how can you arrange your schedule so that you can make that interview time? Now, at that point, there's two things that are going on. If they need to make arrangements, if they're like, well, look, I have work tonight and maybe I can get off. I have to call or something like that. Like if there's something along those lines, okay? You say, okay, do you need to make a phone call to see if, you know, so you can get out of work? All right, here's the thing. I can hold the slot for about an hour or so. All I would need to do is give me a call back to let me know this appointment will work. How's that sound? Okay, so that's that person. All right, so that's fine. Now, if they're being, now then there's the lazy people and then there's the legitimate people, okay? The 20% either way, all right? Now, the second person, now the person goes, you know, no, I can't. I mean, I got to study tonight. I really have to study, okay? So, all right, well, Kujerba, can I ask you a question, okay? Now, again, you see it says, this shouldn't sound mean, okay? Can I ask you a question? You know, how serious are you looking for a job right now? Okay. Now, usually to that question, they'll say very serious. They're just looking. They're just called us looking for a job. Okay. So, so again, it shouldn't be like, you know, Kujerba, how serious are you about looking for a job? Okay. So, but it's like, how serious are you looking for a job? I'm really serious. Okay. Well, can I make a suggestion? All right. That's a very powerful thing when you ask people if you can do something, and then they say yes. Then you can say whatever the heck you want. So I would suggest that you try and rearrange your schedule and maybe study. You know, maybe study afterwards. Maybe bring your books with you. Okay. But rearrange your schedule as best as possible to get in here for an interview, because Mr. Washington is looking to fill the position as soon as possible. You know, how can we make this work? What can we do? All right. So it's like you're on their side, and it's just kind of like, come on. Now, after you do the beginning, you flip the book, you handle the first problem, now you go to the second problem. At this point, if they don't say yes, then they're just lame, okay, and we don't want them. At this point, they should be like, okay, I'm in. Or they'll say, well, look, you know, and then or if they have a legitimate thing, like it's like, look, I can't make it tonight. It's my mom's, you know, 50th birthday party, blah, 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 you know. Okay, look, I want to help you out here, Kujerba. So I'm going to go out on a limb for you. Hold on. Let me see. I'm not supposed to do this, but I can squeeze you in at, you know, whatever, next time. Okay? How's that sound? Now, after you've gone through this entire thing, okay, if they have a legitimate reason why they can't make it, and then you give them a second time, are they going to take it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to jump all over it, okay? Because you could say, I got a time at 2 o'clock in the morning. They're like, fine, I'm in. Okay, so because you stress. Now, even when they have a final or something like that, I still go through all that. And the reason why is they just understand it's important, okay? So I teach the same thing to reps, like when they set up appointments. Like if they don't make it important to the customer, it's not going to be important. And if they're like, oh, can I stop by tomorrow? And they're like, no, we're busy. They're like, okay, how about next week? They're like, okay, sure. And they're never going to get an appointment with that person because they didn't make it important to the customer. It's not important to the rep. Why would it be important to the customer? Same thing with these guys, okay? So if it's not important, if you're not making it important, then the more important you make it sound, the more they're like, oh, okay, yeah, this is important, I gotta go, all right? So, you know, as opposed to I just saw a sign on the road, do I even want to go in? You see the importance of that? Cool. So we probably want to take that off the wall and put it over here, so it's right in front of you.